We are back and running again, guys. We have so much to talk about. Baseball has a lot going on tonight with the draft. So many things to talk about, why we haven't been on lately. A lot of good things have been happening to us. And we're going to talk about boxing. Everyone's saying that Saturday night was an upset.
Been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
All right, it's been probably a good while. I'd say probably a week and a half since our last podcast. But we've been up to a lot of work. We've been getting verified for Spotify, Google Music, iTunes. So we're on all three of those now to make it easier for you guys. Just search Everything Goes T&K. We also, if you enjoyed that new intro music, that is from our good friend Izzy on the track, Ian Schleicher. We'll put his links in the description below. We just figured, make a new intro. Don't want to get copyrighted for all these big platforms now because we're moving up in the world.
And it's thanks to all you guys out there that listen. But we've been busy. We have been reaching out to a lot of people. We have some guests coming on this week. We have a couple other people that are going to be coming on probably next week. Things are going in the right direction, and it's a lot of fun to sit back and talk about what we love doing, sports.
Might as well just talk about that boxing fight real quick. Because it was that quick.
You know, everyone is calling that an upset because they're basing it off of what Ruiz looked like, and I don't care what he looked like. His record was 32-1. He just came off a fight 5 weeks ago, and he stepped in. They needed a fighter. He stepped in, and from the get-go, he's like a pit bull, man. He charged him, and, you know, I think he shocked Joshua, and he didn't know how to react to it.
I've been a fan of Anthony Joshua after he beat Ovechkin, and that was a great fight. And to wait 2 years to not actually get to see him live, and you know,
first fight in the United States, Madison Square Garden, the mecca of all sports.
What's disappointing for me is
he laid an egg.
Nah, he was supposed to fight Wilder, and it was supposed to be like the best fight, like the next huge fight of our generation because it's the UK champ and the US champ, and they didn't fight
him for some reason.
Wilder does want him. Wilder asked to fight him like 3 times, and he denied it.
Wilder already scheduled another fight.
Yeah, because AJ kept denying it.
Because he's afraid after that last fight that he had.
Too.
Yeah, he would have lost that title real fast.
The thing that bothers me is
I just think if for a money fight, he would have made more money fighting Wilder.
I think he wanted to test his ground, and he was. What sucks is you have Ruiz who comes in the last minute for substitution, and what bothers me about champions is you have to take each fight like it's a huge fight. I think Joshua went to that fight thinking this guy's a little big. He's small. My reach is 10 times his. I'm a lot bigger and in shape than him, and I think he walked out there relaxed. And he knocked Ruiz down the third round. And I thought it was over for sure the way he went down. But Ruiz came up. Ruiz came up and knocked him down 2 times in that same round. It's like Joshua was just shocked. He didn't know what to do.
I applaud him because you know what? Even the commentators from the get-go made this out like this was going to be a fast fight, over and done with. They kept saying, "Look how chiseled Joshua is. Look at what."
But they said that about Tyson
called
too.
Ruiz fat.
They said that probably about all the Tyson fights too.
This is going to go down as one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. This goes way back to Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson in Japan.
That's what they're comparing it to.
This was huge. And this is a huge win for Ruiz. That guy, his Instagram went from 172,000 early this morning to over 700,000+ by lunchtime.
Listen, for a bigger man, dude, he's fast. He's got some big hands. He threw some hard.
Threw
some hard punches at Joshua.
His game plan was to keep going forward. Don't let him extend. And I tell you what, every time Joshua threw a punch, he countered back with 2 or 3 punches.
I hate watching your fighter and you see the leg shake. But the biggest thing to me is I hate when their arms are down. Like, put your arms up. Like, he took some punches and just went down. And then he goes to it's not even like he got knocked out. He went to the corner of the rope and just didn't come out.
Yeah.
Why you can't end a fight like that? At least go down.
The referee gave him so many opportunities, and he put his hands on the rope like he was waiting for the bell to ring to save him or something, and he was done. That referee is one of the best in boxing. He's been around a long time. He gave him plenty of opportunity. He said to come towards him. He didn't move.
It just shows you that just one punch, man. Like, you could knock out the biggest superstar in the world, and he did.
And you know what's funny is, if you watch the fight, he was like raising his eyebrows and winking at people in the crowd, like he thought like this wasn't gonna happen.
I have great respect for him, though. He's a great.
Yeah.
You see that he has such great. What's the word I'm looking for?
I applaud his
Sportsmanship.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
Because you know what? When they try to interview him, he's like, "No, don't interview me yet. It's all about Ruiz. He
Yeah.
deserves it. Well fought fight." And
I hope he comes back and he does fight in the U.S. again, because like
it's not.
Oh, they're going back to UK.
They're going
that's
back to the UK. His promoter was already in the ring, and they booed the crap out of him. And they said, hopefully, this was an eye opener for him, because now the next fight, it's a must win.
Well, I just hope that he turns into a fighter that, he's finally got his first loss, that he goes out and wins now. You see a lot of people like Ronda Rousey. I'm not even saying Conor McGregor happened to him bad, but you see a lot of these star athletes, they lose like once or twice, and then like that's just the end of it. You don't see them ever again.
But that's the aggravating part about the MMA. We used to stay up to like 1 in the morning to watch Ronda Rousey and them get beat. Conor McGregor get beat. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like these guys, they get so full of themselves, sometimes getting punched around, losing a match. Maybe it'll bring them back and he'll be a better champion. I don't know.
And you would think, like, I know you're supposed to have confidence in sports, but you would think in martial arts, MMA, boxing, that like every fight you would take serious, because you're fighting. So it's not like a sport where you're good. Like, you can know you're good at fighting someone, but dude, someone lands, like, you could be the best fighter in the world, but if someone lands a punch to your chin by accident, dude, that will knock you flat on your butt.
But you know what? I love that, especially when I coached baseball, you guys. I loved when we had a real good team and we were dominating during the season, and we almost got arrogant to the point where we needed a loss, and we would get that one loss late in the season, and it was an eye-opener for everybody. And it made us a better team. So hopefully this makes him a better person, and he comes back and it makes him a better champion. But I like to see what happens. I like to see Ruiz beat him again. See what happens. That would be so cool for the Mexican Rocky to go forward with this.
No, as a boxing fan, like, rewatching those highlights, like, I give it up to Ruiz. Like, if I put myself in that situation, I would have been so excited. But like, I was rooting for Joshua. I hope he comes back a champion. I hope he has a good rematch and just comes back from this. But it's whatever. It's in the past.
Boxing has been dead for a while, though. I remember like watching the Tyson Holyfield fights.
There's some good fighters right now.
George Foreman. Just boxing, like Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler, those fights were good, man. I mean, those were brawls. It's just boxing, it needs a wake-up. And you see Conor McGregor came out and he challenged Mayweather right after that because he was so excited. He's like, I want to get back in the ring. He's like, I want to box.
Yeah, I mean, Conor McGregor retired, so I don't see him come back out. But
retired from MMA.
I don't know why he retired. He's in perfect condition. If you look at his Instagram, he's training all the time.
But the thing is when you get beat, it's hard to come back from that sometimes. When you get that, he's got his mind on other things like his whiskey and everything. When you lose, sometimes Ronda Rousey thought, she can come back too. And when you get beat, things change. When people find a plan to beat you.
I was talking with a guy from work because he boxed, and I was talking about the Joshua fight. He was talking about how there was a 22-year-old champion that was like undefeated his whole life, and he took a punch to the face and went down. And he walked to the corner and told the ref he's done. And when he was getting interviewed for TV, he said, I'm 22, man. Taking a punch like that, like, it changed me.
Well, I told Noah that when he was doing that MMA out in Colorado. I said to him, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Things change. Things change quick. But overall, I think it was a boost for the sport. I mean, the amount of news that it's gotten over the last couple hours, it's amazing. It's good for the sport, and hopefully, things start picking up in that, because boxing it's interesting. It's fun to watch, but if you don't got the big names there, it can actually get flat.
Yeah.
So.
All right, moving on from boxing, I think there's a lot of news in baseball we should discuss. I mean, you have the draft going on right now currently as we talk. The O's took that catcher on the overall pick, saying that he's better than Buster Posey. I always hate when people compare people to other athletes, but
I'm so glad for these kids, though. I mean, this is going to be a big night for a lot of these kids. But the thing about baseball is there's so many rounds in the draft, and there's so many names that are taken. This can go on, and kids get the opportunity, but you don't know where you're going to end up, like what level of the major leagues. I mean, there's so many different farm systems, so many levels from single A to Class A to Double A to Triple A. I mean, it just, you can get stuck in the system forever.
I got the notification on my phone, and it's not like the NFL draft, because in the NFL draft, those first 3 rounds, those guys are going to start for your team.
Yeah.
Like the baseball draft, like you won't see. I mean, unless you're Alex Bregman and you get drafted and go to the pros the same exact year, half these guys you won't see for like good 3 years.
But the thing that's interesting too is like you see a lot of high school kids that come out, and it's like, are they still going to go to college, or what are they going to do? I mean, I'm interested to see where those kids from Texas Tech go that we were talking with Josh about, and see where they go, because they have Josh Young going early in this first round.
I don't know if I would. I feel like in my mind, obviously, if I was in high school and like I had the chance to get drafted, I feel like I would. But I feel like I would probably pick college first, just because to see how good you really are. Because you could be great in high school, and you get drafted, and
but there's so many weird rules. Like you could actually get drafted, turn that down, and then go back in the draft like the next year if you want to. It's interesting because like football, man, once you contact an agent, you're done with college.
I think I'd play at least 1 year in college baseball, just to at least get the college experience in general, and also to see how good I am. I never understood when people do 3 years of college.
But the scariest thing is, though,
and then they'd go in the draft. Like, why not just finish that last year? You already did 3 years.
The scariest thing, though, is like, what if you get that opportunity? Say someone drafts you in, like, I don't know, maybe the 15th round or whatever, and you turn that down. But what if that call never comes again? It's like it's scary.
Well, isn't there
because
a rule
this might be your one shot, your only shot.
Isn't there a rule too? Like once you dedicate yourself to the draft, like you can't go back to like that sport. Like for football, say you're playing college football.
College football, yeah. Like basketball, college basketball. Like you have a time where you have to commit. Because I know Michigan players that they knew
they were going to get drafted in a
like in the
late
second
round.
Because for some reason in basketball, the second round sucks. You're either the first round and you're good, or second round is basically no, you're not going to play.
Well, that German kid who plays for the Lakers now, I forget his crazy last name.
He went back to Michigan.
Yeah, because he knew his agent said you're not going to get drafted in the first round.
Yeah,
but he never dedicated himself to the draft. Though I think like I don't know how that rule works. I don't know if like once you dedicate yourself to the draft, if you can't play that sport for that school anymore.
I don't know, but I was looking at the Yankees. They have them projected to pick a third baseman, which I was like scratching my head like, well, why? Why would we not go for like more outfield depth or something?
I think your outfield depth set. I think third baseman's actually smart. Who do you know in the minors that plays third base?
Oh, Josh Young went to the Texas Rangers at number 8.
Oh, yeah?
They didn't have him there.
What position is he again? Outfield?
Nope, third base.
I was gonna say third
That's
base.
awesome. Max, you're listening. I know you're happy. Yeah, he's got a .335 average right now for Texas Tech.
I think that's smart for the Yankees to go after third baseman. I mean, you have Andujar and DJ LeMahieu, but like, who you got in the minors? I don't know any big names down there right now that we drafted.
For what?
Third base.
Well, we have Urshela that can play third base.
Oh, I love her.
That can play there.
I love Urshela.
We have DJ LeMahieu, who we signed for 3 years.
It's just you don't have a lot of young prospects.
But you think about the outfield depth. Who do we have?
I mean, a lot of outfield depth.
Name them.
I'll name you. Got Clint Frazier.
Okay,
young.
Who can't catch. Well, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Who has like more errors now? He's making Gary Sanchez look good because of all the errors he has out there.
I don't know any AAA players.
But names. I mean, we have Stanton, who's he's injured.
You have a thick outfield right now. You don't
Judge.
need to draft anybody.
The only one that's really really good down in the minors is
Flores.
Yeah.
But you think about it. You have Frazier, who's going to last you maybe 10 years. He's so young.
Hopefully.
Judge is young. Hicks is young. You signed him to a 7-year deal.
They're talking about trading Frazier again for pitching.
They do need the pitching, but I don't want to trade Frazier. He's doing really good. I know his outfield is struggling, but he's a great spark in the lineup right now.
Well, you got to get rid of some of those bad contracts we still have in the outfield, though, like Aaron Hicks.
I don't think there's a bad contract at all.
And
I don't want to go back to this.
And seriously, what's going on with Ellsbury? I mean, he's like the $21 million man, just sitting around playing hide and seek with the reporters.
I don't remember Ellsbury until we talk about him on the podcast.
I don't understand. I mean,
I miss him. I'm not gonna lie, because when he was healthy, he batted 300, and then he dies.
But they might as well just do the buyout and just get rid of him.
I thought you were gonna say biopsy.
No, they ought to biopsy his whole body because they don't know what's going on with him. But they need to just give him the buyout and let him go, and just be done with it. I mean, because this is ridiculous.
There's no news on him, so I have no feedback on. You can't probably even look this stuff up on Google right now. That's how like Area 51 quality it is right now. There's nothing going on with it.
There's like nothing as far as minor league rehabs. There's nothing. But I tell you what's going to be interesting is with all the Yankees that are going down to Tampa, left for Tampa for rehab to come back, You got Didi, who's up in Scranton right now. He's coming back. I think either next series or the series
You
after.
can't bench
Cleveland.
Didi either.
Who-
So like Boone has a hard job coming to him.
Who's going back to the minors? Because seriously, Frazier is what he is, but he's hitting the ball hot again.
And it's crazy. It's like a bad but good thing that he has so much talent that he has to. Let's face it. Is Wade even still in the rock? Is he?
I think he got sent down already, but I think Kendrick Morales has to go.
I forgot about him. Are they even playing him?
You have Greg Bird going down to Tampa to do. He's doing rehab.
You keep Greg Bird.
But
to
I think
play.
DJ LeMahieu should either be playing or he can fill in every position, even first base.
I'm telling you, like as much as I like Urshela is going to be the odd guy out. You have to.
No.
You can't bench Didi. You can't bench Didi.
First of all, Didi went 0 for 5 the other night at Scranton. You can't bring him back and throw him right into the mix.
No, you can't. They're probably going to play him one game and take him 2 games off.
You can't bench a guy that's hot like Urshela either, because look what happened with Frazier. Frazier's hot.
Oh,
he
yeah.
had that sprained ankle, came back, he couldn't hit nothing.
You got 3
right
guys
away.
though. Okay, you got Torres, DJ, and Urshela. Who you benching? Out of those 3 guys,
You make it work.
you're benching Urshela.
No, you make it work.
Yeah, obviously they're going to
Urshela
rotate.
can
They're going
stay.
to rotate. Whoever needs a day off, someone's going to fill in.
Who's the other guy that's up? Estrada's the other guy. Even though he's batting 304, I think he's going to be the odd man out because he plays second base. But I think Estrada and Kendry Morales are the guys that are going to be on the burner. And I think I
would just trade Morales. There's no need to even have him. I don't understand. I didn't even understand that.
You're not going to
trade.
get nothing for him. He's 35 or 36 years old. He's batting 194. You're going to put him on a waiver wire to let him go or whatever.
And then
But I think
Tulowitzki's another guy that's going to be coming up soon.
I don't think Tulowitzki's ever coming back up. When Stanton and Judge come back, I think Cameron Maben and possibly Frazier are going to be the guys that get sent. I think Frazier's going to get sent down so he can play every day.
I like Cameron Maben, but that's a guy you could trade too because how well he's played for us. How he filled in a good spot and played well.
But you're not going to get much for these guys. I mean, Cameron Maben, he's been on 3 teams already since the beginning of spring training.
I mean, even if you get cash though, just something.
Yeah.
There's too many guys coming up.
But Frazier has to go down. He's got to play every day. He has to learn how to field the ball. And I don't know if it's right field. Well, who are you going to want to have? You want to have Frazier up there, or you want to have Stanton and Judge? I mean, you're not going to send Stanton and Judge down.
I'd rather have Stanton play DH and you keep Frazier in the outfield.
Okay, but then what are you going to do with Stanton when you say you give Luke Voigt a day off at first base and put him at DH, and you have DJ LeMahieu
at first base.
Then that means Stanton's not batting.
What?
That means Stanton's not batting. If you have,
what if you put Stanton at first base?
You can't put Stanton at first base. He's never played
huge.
first base. No.
You can easily first base is so easy.
First
You can easily teach someone to play first base.
Voigt, the way he's been playing the last couple of days, hitting, he's doing great. Defensively, he's got 3 errors in the last 2 games.
I saw that, yeah.
If DJ LeMahieu gets on first base, he's got one of the best gloves in the game.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to do that because Voigt needs to bat. He's been doing great for us.
Voigt's going to be a DH option with Stanton. They're going to rotate.
I think Voigt's our next franchise first baseman. I think they gave him a big contract this offseason.
I don't think so.
I'm actually going to make that prediction right now just so everyone knows that. I think Voigt's going to get a good-sized contract this offseason from the Yankees. He's going to be our first baseman.
No, I think he's going to be our DH. I think Stanton eventually is going to opt out of his contract and go somewhere else. I don't think he's worth the $300 or $250 million.
I do not see Stanton opting out of his contract. I think he likes being here with Judge.
But my thing is Boone's got a great problem to have. He really does.
I think your starting outfield is going to be Judge, Frazier, and Hicks, and Gardner's going to be the utility guy. Stanton's going to simply be a DH guy, or he's going to fill in somewhere. That's what it's going to be.
I don't know. I think if Frazier keeps making errors in the outfield, he's got 5 or 6 already in the last 3 series. If he keeps making errors in the outfield and catching fly balls, they're going to have no option but to do something with him, and you're not going to leave him on the field like that.
Yeah, I think, too.
The Steinbrenners won't put up with that.
They could send a reliever down, too.
Yeah.
Because you have Betances come back, so you got to send someone down anyway.
Well, they can, but the problem is your relievers are the best in the business right now.
Chad Green's looking good again.
You have enough depth for guys on the bench here as far as utility players.
Chapman just got reliever of the month.
Which, man, I'm surprised because his last couple starts, he struggled to throw strikes.
I don't do the vote, and I just saw on the stats on MLB's Instagram page that he got reliever of the month.
The Yankees could have easily put Boston 10 games out last night, and
it's crazy.
Killed.
It's crazy how Boston's still trying to find it. They still yet haven't found that chemistry. I mean, their team's no different than the last year.
Well, look at even Sale. Sale pitched a great game the other night. He struck out the first 3 or 4 batters, and they ended up getting to him. The Yankees are they're a grinded out team, and I love it. I love everything about them.
I think you got to say the Yankees have been one of obviously there's teams that have shocked everyone this year because they came out of nowhere, but you got to give the Yankees credit. They had nobody to begin the season.
I tell you what, though,
look at them now.
I wouldn't rush these guys back. I think I would leave judging them down. I'd leave them down in Tampa for a while
Till
to
they
get
get
some
hot.
live hitting. Because you know what? You do not want to mess this chemistry up. Could you imagine if you brought those guys back and we went on like a 10-game losing streak or something?
And I can easily see it. You know what I would do is, I don't think I screw that. I don't know. But I could see that happen. You could easily see that happen. You bring guys. I mean, just think of the core outfit right now. How they have a chemistry set together right now. I'm not saying they don't like Judge and Stan, but you throw them in there, and now obviously Stan and Judge have been there on the bench cheering everyone on, but.
Well, we're getting Betances back too, and that is going to be huge because
he hasn't pitched all year. I'm excited to see him pitch again.
You know how nice it is with our bullpen now. As a coach, you can get your starters to just pitch 4 innings for you, which these guys will be fuming because you don't get a win if you don't go 5 innings.
Yeah.
But could you imagine having where your starters only have to go 4 innings and you can go to that bullpen?
Dude,
that would be amazing. And
Like-
you know how good that would be for their arms to save their arms just having to go 4 innings? But you know the Yankees have a team ERA of 3.74. That's number 5 in the league right now, and that is amazing considering that our starters. You know, we've had Paxton who was hurt for a while. Hap's been all over the place. Sabathia has been somewhat okay, and we don't have Severino. So to have an ERA that ranks our team in the top 5, that is pretty amazing. The best team in baseball right now is Tampa Bay Rays with an ERA of 2.98, which is the only team in the majors right now with an ERA under 3.
I think with a 38-20 record at this point, it's just so impressive as a Yankees fan. I'm not even saying it as a Yankees fan. I mean, with what they've done with what little talent. I mean, I shouldn't say with what little talent, with what little experience. It's been great to watch.
Because you think Urshela, you know,
who was he? Like I didn't know who that
Toronto.
was.
They got rid of him. He was with a couple teams. They just thought, you know what? He doesn't hit the ball. Great defender. They don't hit the ball. And for him to explode this year with what he's doing, and I tell you right now, defensively, he blows Andujar out of the water.
And I've said that from the get-go. Like, I like Andujar, but Urshela is a heck of a lot better of a player.
If Urshela keeps his average the way it is,
He's still batting the 300s.
The only thing that he doesn't do, which it doesn't matter, I mean, he still is clutch. He don't give you the home runs like Andujar does. You know, Andujar can give you anywhere from 20 to 30 home runs.
Which then brings in the crack and hit the home runs.
Yeah, I mean, his slug percentage is 466. His OPS is 843. He's amazing. His on-base percentage is 377.
The only downside to the Yankees is we don't steal a lot of bases.
No, I mean, we don't have a lot of guys that can steal bases.
We're more of a powerhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, Gardner gets out there once in a while, but you don't see a lot of guys stealing bases.
And you know who's trying to get hot again, too? Torres. Gleyber Torres is starting to heat up again. He was in a little funk there for a while. He's back up to 293. You know,
I think they said his last 9 games he's batting 300.
Yeah, between him, Voit, and Sanchez. Sanchez, surprisingly, who leads the AL in home runs with 18. This team, I tell you, this could be lucky number 27, the ride to 27 this year.
Yeah, you probably just jinxed it, but compared to the season,
Compared
to the season he had last year,
only Drake can jinx things.
Offensively, Stan is having an amazing year compared to last year. We sat here on this podcast and roasted him, not out of hate. Like, we love having our Yankees, but he batted terrible last year. He barely batted 100.
But you know this is something special when even the head coach of the Boston Red Sox praises how good the Yankees are playing.
Dude, there's such young talent.
And we're all on the Dallas Keuchel watch right now. I mean, he could sign any time now. Anytime. So if there's any pictures out there with him with his beard shaved, you know, just let everything goes knows.
He said that he's
We'll put that on our Twitter feed.
He said that he's willing to shave it for the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. And they came down off their price. They won like 20-some million a year. He said, I'll take a 1-year deal for 18. And I can see the Yankees doing that.
I think the Yankees pick up Keuchel. Dude, you're locking in playoffs right there.
Yeah. I think I could see them getting Keuchel, and I could see the Phillies getting Kimbrel. The Phillies need bullpen help.
I will talk about the Phillies in a second, but I just hope that, like, Keuchel's not one of those guys that, like, when they shave their beard or something, like, they just can't play baseball ever again. You know what I mean? Like, some of those guys just come to New York and they suck. I think that'd be huge. I think they said that the Yankees are the best team right now for him, but that the Yankees are also in talks, like, for a trade with the Cardinals and something like that they might not go after Keuchel.
And just one little tidbit for all you Yankee fans out there: this is the first time since 1998 that the Yankees have won 9 series in a row.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
It is good. It is really good for them.
It's good as a Yankees fan.
You know, when you hear a team that has 18 guys on the IL and, you know, it's pretty bad, you think as a coach, like, man, we're done. We're done. We're going to ride this out. And I figured that when the Yankees and Boston were in last place that they were going to be in trouble. But for them to right the ship and turn this around, pretty amazing.
All right, let's move on from the Yankees. Let's bring up the Phillies here, just because they've been in the headlines lately. And as you're a Dallas fan, you've seen something like this happen before. They have Odubel Herrera last week was arrested for simple assault. How big of an effect right now, as the Phillies, who are in first place by 1 game, does this take a toll on your team? Like, how you've seen this from Dallas's point of view, with Ezekiel Elliott. Like, how big of a effect could this take on your clubhouse?
See, I don't know if Major League Baseball is going to step in and do anything about it like the NFL does. It could be something they do in the off season. I mean, I think it's going to be more what are the Phillies going to do? They have situation where are they going to cut him loose? Will they let him go? Because it is a black eye for the organization. Even though that they had nothing to do with it, of course this guy does work for them, and I'm sure the media is hitting him up like crazy. Like, do you have any comments on this? And they picked up someone yesterday.
Jay Bruce. How does this affect your clubhouse though? Like, do you think that your teammates, like, they're seeing this everywhere? Probably every interview they're getting interviewed, someone's bringing up prayer. Like, does this affect their play? Like, is this affecting their chemistry right now?
To be honest with you, I don't know, because in baseball it's different with baseball. Football, you have a quarterback, you have a running back, you have to do all the plays together, where the pitcher controls majority of the game in baseball. You might not even get a ball hit to you. Does it affect these players? I don't know. I mean, do these players think about themselves and their own contracts and their own lives, or is it a team? I don't know. I mean, baseball, sports in general has changed. I mean,
I'll give it to you this.
On our team, like when we coached, if we had some negative vibe when we went through this with negative people on our team,
it takes a toll on you.
It does. I mean,
you could be on a hot streak and you hit something like this, and all of a sudden you start losing.
But this is more his own outside of baseball life that happens. So it's not like it's an in-house clubhouse feud with other players. So it might not. I mean, I think the best thing the Phillies can do, I mean, I don't know what his stats are. Is he worth benching? Bench him or send him to the minors just to get away from the team?
I don't think he's playing right now. He was only batting .222 with 1 home run. I think of it this way though. Say you're friends with Odubel and you see the rumors. So you don't know if it's 100% true. Mark's on his girlfriend's neck, simple assault. He comes back into the locker room. Like, that could be a feud.
But I think
that could be a feud.
I think the best thing for a player to do is not comment on it in the media until all the facts come out.
I'll give you this.
You don't want to say the wrong thing, and you don't want to be in the media. Let's just put it like that. You don't want to be in the media spotlight because the media, especially in the media in general, a lot of times when they play a story, you only get tidbits of the story, and that's just to draw you in. Mm-hmm. No one knows what happened. No one knows the truth. The truth will come out, and we have to wait and see what happens. And at the end of the day, it's going to be what do the Phillies want to do? How much of a headache does this become for the Phillies?
Now, he was arrested Monday at the Golden Nugget Casino in Atlantic City in Jersey. Simple assault. Going to court on June 17th. I think it said the MLB gave him leave for the court session. That was last Monday, okay? Phillies just lost 3 in a row. 3 in a row to the Dodgers. And now they're about to do a series with the Padres. So could you say this has taken a toll so far on them?
No.
I mean, they lost 3 games in a row?
First of all, no. The Phillies went against a team that outmatched them. That whole arrest didn't cause them to lose those 3 games to the Dodgers. The Dodgers are one of the best teams in baseball right now. They're at, what do they have, 40 wins already?
Dude, they're good.
They're really good. There's not too many teams that are beating the Dodgers. So you can't put that with that. That's no. I just don't see that.
Now let's keep going with this, okay? You have Odubel Herrera not really playing right now. They trade for Jay Bruce for a Class A infielder and cash. Now, is this a fill-in for Odubel? Now, do you like this trade? I don't like this trade, but just simply because Bruce batting .212. He's been on a lot of teams.
He's been around a while.
Now listen,
he's a power hitter.
He has 14 home runs this year, which is more than any Philly right now because Hoskins is leading with 13. But he has struck out 53 times out of 165 at-bats.
Well, let's face it. Most power hitters with a home run swing strike out a lot. Judge, Stanton, the list goes on and on and on. He's going to probably give you 20 to 30 home runs, but his average isn't going to be like 300. If he hits 240, I mean, you can live with that.
This does bring you veteran experience, though, which is always a good thing to have, especially
He's not a
going.
bad player. He's been around a while. He's got miles on him, but he can hit the ball.
The Phillies, I mean, they're 33-26, 1-game lead right now above Atlanta.
Well, who knows? The Phillies have a draft pick tonight. Maybe they'll pick a first baseman.
Maybe. I mean, the big story for tonight is that they're playing the Padres. And this is the first time that Harper and Machado are matching up since signing their big contracts. And their stats are pretty even right now. You know, Harper's batting .248 with 11 home runs. Machado's batting .251 with 9 home runs. Each team right now is currently on track to have a better season than last year. My personal opinion, I think Harper and Machado are having all right seasons right now. Neither one is outshining. Like, I mean, you have people like, you know, Cody Bellinger, Tim Anderson, all these people who are batting like .330. You know, Harper's been kind of quiet this year. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's been a great spark for that team. He's producing, he's getting runs, and he's getting RBIs in. I mean, but he's only batting .248. Machado's
but Harper, he's never really had a real high batting average. He's more of a
run producer.
Yeah,
and they're saying he's more of a run producer, while Machado's more of a get on base type of guy, helps the team get going. I think the Phillies are having an outstanding year. I mean, obviously they're not doing great, but they're on track to win that division.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, this road swing for them is going to be huge because the Braves are knocking on the door again.
The Braves are right there at the door. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so you can't go on the West Coast and lose series. You gotta pick up a few wins. You can't.
And what's scary is that the Braves called up a lot of prospects who are doing really good. They just had a prospect win Rookie of the Month. I think his last name is Riley, and he's hitting home runs. But I said this from the get-go that Gene Segura was their best offseason pickup, more better than Bryce Harper. He's batting .291 with 5 home runs. He has been. I mean, when's the last time the Phillies had a great shortstop? Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah.
J.P. Crawford, let's face it.
He was supposed to be good, and he wasn't.
J.P. Crawford was a huge disappointment. He did not live up to the first-round pick. It was almost like a Dustin Ackley type of thing with Seattle. Gene Segura, one of their best players. You have Cesar Hernandez second base, leading their team in hits. Hoskins, 13 home runs, batting .273. Their team is shaping up to be really good. You still have a good veteran experience with McCutchen in the outfield. You have JT at home plate, killing it.
McCutchen's having a pretty good year.
McCutchen is having a pretty good year. I mean, he's not having a stand-in like his Pirates years, but
yeah, I mean, he's an older player, but you know, he's giving you good at bats, good games.
He's a good veteran experience to add there for the young guys. I mean, let's face it, they get to the playoffs, dude. They have a lot of playoff experience just sitting right here.
I'm trying to look up the stats for the Phillies pitching.
Franco was batting really hot like all season, and I said this to a lot of Phillies, and this was his prove-it year because he's been a kind of like a little bit of a disappointment the past 2 years. But now he's only batting .209.
It's just a good.
But he's
thing
got 8
that
home. I mean,
it's a good thing that the Phillies are in the division that they're in.
Yeah,
because you know the Mets. I mean, they're only 7 out, but you know, it's let's face it, it's the Phillies' division to lose. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah,
and as long as they can get through this West Coast swing in decent shape, they'll be all right.
I mean, their pitching has been that great. Arrieta's been struggling lately.
Dude, he's their best pitcher on their team right now as far as, as far as with the most innings pitched. I mean, he's got an ERA of 3.96. Oh, no. I gotta change my mind here. Zach Eflin is their best pitcher with a 3.02.
How's Robertson been doing?
He's been hurt.
Really?
Yeah, so that's a good idea that the Yankees got rid of him. He's only pitched in 7 games, and his ERA was ballooned. It was over 18. It's down to 5.40, which is a big improvement, but he's been injured.
I think my biggest disappointing team this year is the Seattle Mariners. We sat here and talked about how they started off like 7-2, and it was like 8-2. And now they're 25-37, and at the getting close to the All-Star break and at the draft day today, they're willing to trade like everybody. Like they're about to clean house, even Edwin Encarnacion. Like, how does that happen? Like, as a franchise,
I don't know.
How do you start off so hot and then you
I
plunder?
thought for sure that they were going to
be a different year.
That. Yeah.
I mean, you had Tim Beckham, who started off just so I'm just at a loss for words. Like,
Well, Oakland, too.
He's still batting 243, and he has 11 home runs, but like this team just isn't producing. I mean, you got dude.
I never thought in a million years Texas would be in second place in that division. Never. And they're hot right now. They won 3 in a row. But they're supposed to be in a total rebuild for that new stadium for next year. And Oakland, what happened to them? Like, they fell off. And they have Chapman. They're saying Chapman could be one of the best third basemen in the league.
Arenado, praised him that he's better than him.
Yeah, Chapman is on fire lately. I got to tell you, though, my Colorado Rockies, who I projected to win that division, is hot right now. They won 8 in a row. They're sitting 9 games back behind the Dodgers, but if we can cut that in half by the All-Star break, watch out for them Rockies.
Dodgers are just scary. They're number 1 every week in power rankings.
They're scary, man. They're
Cody
scary,
Bellinger, dude, just give him the MVP already.
They're just, what's that one pitcher, Rue, whatever that Asian guy?
Yeah, I know you're talking
His
about.
ERA is like, what, 1.42 or something like that?
What was happening with Clayton Kershaw that you were talking about?
Oh, not Clayton Kershaw. I was talking about Dallas Keuchel. I talked about that earlier. Keuchel, he could be signing any minute now.
No. You were telling me about how Clayton Kershaw was cursing and didn't want to come off the mound.
Oh, no. That was, before he came on the air, that was Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer last night, he got into I think it was the 8th inning. He was at 117 pitchers, and his manager, Dave Martinez, came out after he got his 14th strikeout. Dave Martinez came out of the bullpen to make a change, and you could see Scherzer was yelling at him, no. And he just basically cursed him and told him no, he wasn't coming out of the game. And Martinez gave him his way, let him finish the inning. He ended up with 15 Ks, and then he was happy after that.
Coaches don't have any power.
That sucks to be a manager in baseball. It's because you're walking out there with a guy that has 2 different colored eyes looking at you. Looks a little weird, and he's telling you no, I'm not coming out. Basically, turn around and go back in the dugout.
So that Ryu guy that pitched an outstanding game.
1.48 ERA.
Okay, why do you guys steal it from me?
I told you. I said 1.45.
He's 8-1. 8-1. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's got 69 strikeouts. That team, Kershaw, 3.2 ERA.
Odorizzo, too, from Minnesota. Really
Baez, 3.0 ERA.
Yeah.
Floro, 2.91 ERA. Hill, 2.25 ERA. That
Rich
team
Hill.
is scary when Kershaw has the highest ERA on your team.
Yeah, and just let him get into a groove, man. It's just going to be time before But, the Dodgers, unfortunately, are like the Nationals.
Dude, but they have
They choke.
5 guys, okay? You have Turner, batting 306. How do you say his name? Verdugo, 310. Cody Bellinger's batting 376. Like, this team is scary. Scary. Muncy, who's a home run hitter, he's got 12 home runs, batting 279. This team is gonna they went far last year, all the way to the World Series. They're probably gonna make a repeat unless they choke in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the team to talk about right here.
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough, and
Wait, you're going. Are you gonna say something?
I just if that pitching stays the way it is, they're just going to be hard to beat. They're going to have a ton of wins. I can see them winning over 115 games this year, easily.
I think the coolest thing this week is I didn't even get to watch it. I just saw the highlights. Was the Cubs played the Cardinals, and it was such a playoff atmosphere.
That's a heated rivalry.
And that game was so close. And then you have Wainwright pitching, and Colton Wong makes, I think it was Rizzo bad, hits this blooper, and Colton Wong makes this jump, and the crowd goes crazy. Wainwright is pumping his arms, going crazy. It was a playoff atmosphere because both these teams are dominating. And just those are the games that I love to watch.
They hate each other. They really do. Those teams do not like each other at all.
That's a good rivalry to watch. What have they always hated each other?
Yeah. I'm trying to look up the draft to see where they're at now as far as the picks.
See if the Yankees.
Yankees don't pick until 30th, I think. I'm so glad that Josh Young got picked up early. They had him projected to go later in the round. I think they had him going to the Mets.
That's probably
the Phillies picked up a shortstop.
Really?
Bryson Stott.
I mean, I guess
of UNLV.
I guess because they don't really have any.
6'3", 200-pounder. He's often compared to Brandon Crawford.
Wow.
Yeah.
NL Central, man. Okay. Milwaukee, 34-26. Cubs are 32-26, 1 game out. St. Louis 30-28, 3 games out. Pittsburgh 28-30, 5 games out. You have the Reds who are 6.5 out. Best division right there.
Yeah.
Best division right there.
Yeah.
Not even because like some of those teams aren't good. It's just that you have Milwaukee's got 34 wins, but last place is so close to getting in.
Yeah, the Reds got 27 wins.
I mean,
how tough is it to be a fan of like the Baltimore Orioles? 20 games out already, and it's not even the first week of June.
I think that like I probably wouldn't even watch the games, to be honest. I think I'd be like willing to trade everybody and just see what we pick and who we go in after the off seasons. I think that'd be the most exciting moment is the off seasons.
Dude, the Twins could have a major meltdown right now and probably still win that division. They are 11 and a half games up on second place White Sox.
You know what's crazy, though, is the White Sox are actually having a pretty good season. For being under 500 right now, Tim Anderson's batting .330 with 9 home runs. McCann, who they got from Detroit, is batting .338 with 4 home runs. And Garcia's batting .293.
The problem with these teams are, though, they don't want to spend money. And it shows.
But
look at all
the White
teams.
Sox were willing to spend that money. They just couldn't land any of the superstars.
Look at the Yankees. Spend money, first place. Minnesota spent some money.
Minnesota
first place.
Minnesota broke the
Houston,
bank this year.
They spent some money again, first place. Phillies spent some money, first place. It's
You think about that too. Minnesota broke their bank to re-sign all their stars. Houston signed all their stars back. Boston signed all their stars back. They're almost in first place. I mean, they're 8 games out, but still, they're still having a winning season right now.
It's gonna be crazy if all these teams have a fire sale come the trade deadline. Like, could you imagine if the Nationals say we're done? You know what? Pitching, we're gonna get rid of Strasburg and all of them. Max Scherzer. Could you imagine the teams? Like, could you imagine? Just say Houston said, okay, we're going to take Max Scherzer off of you guys for whatever, such a pick or whatever.
That'd be crazy. I mean, Washington's only 7 games out. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. They're talking about Rendon going and everything. He's batting like .331.
He's a great player.
He's a third baseman.
Yeah, I'll happily take him. I mean, Urcelo's a good player and all,
no,
but
we're not going to get rid of any of our guys. We'd be foolish to get rid of any of our guys. But did you see Major League Baseball? They changed the whole voting thing for the All-Star game.
Yeah, I still was like confused when you were talking about it, so go ahead. I'll let you take this one.
So the All-Star can't even pronounce myself. The All-Star voting starts Tuesday at 2 p.m. and it runs to June 21st. The picks consist of the top 3 players from each position on the field. That's going to be your primary voting. And what they're going to do this year now, last year when the fans picked those players, they were guaranteed starters. Whoever had the highest votes at that position. Now they're taking the top 3 players from each position and they're going into another category, which is the starters election. So they're going to wipe the slate clean, and that is going to run from June 26th, and it ends at 4 p.m. on the 27th. And those top voters of those positions will be revoted, and whoever wins that will be your starters for the All-Star game.
It's interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
I just want to say from my inside source at Goez Everything on Twitter, the Flyers just traded for Kevin Hayes from the Jets. He's a big veteran forward. Just to toss that in real quick. Go ahead, continue.
Beautiful. I'm sure Hunter will be hitting the phone soon and letting us know about that. But, another thing they tried changing, too, is that home run derby contest where they want to give $1 million to the winner.
That's stupid.
And a lot of these big-name guys are still saying, nope, they're not going to do it because they don't want it to affect their swing.
Why are we going to pay these people that are making millions of dollars? Here's $1 million to win the home run derby. That's stupid. Well, you know what makes me mad, too?
It's good for players who don't have big contracts.
Tampa Bay's stadium, dude, needs to go. Okay, there was a guy that would have hit like a 490-foot home run. And then the shortstop catches the ball. Like, that is the stupidest rule in MLB right now.
I would not want to be at home plate going over those rules because they would drive you nuts. Because if they hit a certain part of the catwalk, it's considered a home run. But if they hit a certain part of the other part of the catwalk,
it's like a ground rule double, one's an out.
And if in one part they can field it for an out.
I watched that video on Instagram, and I said, that poor guy, dude. That's like getting robbed.
Well, that happened to Clint Frazier last year. He hit the catwalk, and it was caught out there by the second baseman.
Well, how about Aaron Judge when he hit Miami Marlins Stadium, and they said that nobody on planet Earth would do that, but the Yankees are just too good, I guess. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the finals for a little bit.
I want
here.
to talk about one thing.
Here we
Trevor
go.
Story is the fastest shortstop ever in baseball history to get 100 home runs. He did it faster than A-Rod, Nomar, and Mr. Let's Play 2, Ernie Banks.
How long did A-Rod even play shortstop? Just like
For a long time.
Yeah.
He played for Seattle shortstop. He played for Texas
I
as
know,
shortstop.
like Seattle and Texas. Don't
and
think
then
with the
came to the
facts. I
Yankees,
know.
went to third base.
I mean, guess you can't replace the captain. So.
No.
Finals, Toronto blew the game. No? Yes? I mean, they lost. Iguodala sticking the dagger. Did you watch that video where, like, he got the ball from Livingston, like a crazy pass, and he's sitting there. I think it was, like, 2.1 seconds or something before he shot. It's like, I wonder what was going through his mind. Like, oh, God, do I shoot the ball? What if I miss? And he shoots it, and he makes it. Puts the dagger in it. So it's tied 1-1. They're playing Wednesday at 9. They're saying if KD comes back, it's a wrap.
Well, it was a good game for them because Boogie Cousins came back from injury.
And they said he was going to be too slow and couldn't play.
He
but
played. He
pretty
had a
well.
great game.
Steph Curry kept going out of the game because he was getting lightheaded and eventually got like an IV and everything. Came out bald.
You know, it's funny because at first I didn't like the whole thing with Drake when he was in the huddle.
It's annoying.
Against Milwaukee, giving the coach a back massage, the whole 9 yards. I think that was kind of stupid. But I like the whole rivalry thing now with the players.
Is.
Like KD came out yesterday and said, "Who's you're not talking now?" And he called him by his first name, Aubrey. Is that his name, Aubrey?
That's like when Draymond Green was walking by and Drake called him trash. He doesn't even play basketball. Like it's funny sometimes, especially when he's getting the crowd going. Because like, let's face it, that Toronto crowd's insane right now.
And you know what's funny? Drake has tattoos of I think Steph
Curry and
KD on his arm,
and he put wristbands around it.
But I like Draymond walking around Toronto with Drake clothes on.
I think
it's fun for the sport, but I think. It crosses a line to a point because he's Drake, he shouldn't be allowed on the court because if a real fan did that, you'd be arrested.
The biggest thing right now, I think, for the Warriors is Klay Thompson, his hamstring right now. He shot a 3-pointer, came down, did a weird split, and they weren't able to do the MRI when he came back because they came to Oakland a little later than expected. So they're still waiting on the results from that. So nobody really knows what's going on there. Is he injured? Is he not? Because he left the game. He had a call. He was yelling for someone to foul someone because he wanted to get off the court. But if KD can come back, dude, going back into Golden State, if they can win 2 of those games, dude, it's a wrap. And let's face it, they're saying, too, if that happens, they're saying Kawhi is going to walk. Which, I mean, if you're Kawhi, would you walk? I mean, you just took that team to the playoffs.
I think Kawhi is going to walk. I think he wants out of Toronto, and I think this is going to be one of the biggest off seasons in NBA history because you have a lot of big names that are going to be on the move. I just hope in Philly there's not a lot.
There's a
move.
lot of big names on the move. But they're saying the Clippers are his best move.
There's going to be a lot of max deals going out this year. That Middleton from Milwaukee, he's going to get a max deal. A lot of big money and big contracts going to be thrown around. I'm trying to look up the baseball scores for college baseball because college baseball has been absolutely crazy. The last 2 nights they had walk-off home runs, and one was a grand slam for these guys to go into the Super Nationals.
I just want to say before we wrap this up in a little bit here that I caught my first fish the other day, and it was pretty insane. We're not going to talk about fishing, but
no, we're not.
I just want to throw that out there that I caught a fish. It was my first fish ever.
We're not going to talk about fishing because of my little mishap that we had,
What, when you fell in the water?
Yeah.
Okay. We want to talk about that.
I'm not going to talk about me falling in the water.
Are you going to bring up these scores? We're going to end this podcast.
I'm looking at the baseball scores, the men's scores now. Michigan is leading Creighton 6-4. Connecticut and Oklahoma State are tied at 1-1. I was trying to find I wanted to see that story from the game yesterday. It was like a walk-off grand slam to win the game 11-10. I just can't find it. That's how bad I am right now at this.
All right, well, end it. You gonna get these scores, or are we gonna end it? I guess not. I'm just gonna read off some of these scores because the guy sitting across from me is just a little too slow today.
Well, no, there's been a lot of walk-off big games. I mean, it's just Louisville had one. They just had another one. They're going to the Super Regionals. But the story I was trying to find was I don't remember if it was Texas A&M or who it was. They hit a grand slam to win the game 11-10. It was like an amazing story. And of course,
the only score that looks important for me right now is that number 3 Michigan's beating number 2. I'm not gonna lie, like these names are
It's
so.
Creighton.
Is it? Because they're so abbreviated. I don't really watch a lot of college baseball, so I don't know these names. But they're winning 6-4. But we're gonna try and nail some more podcasts out for you guys. We were just so distracted trying to like figure out how to work this and how to get us on Spotify and all these other platforms for you guys. To make it a lot easier for you guys. We hope you enjoy it. YouTube's we're still going to post these on YouTube for you guys, but they'll automatically upload to Spotify, iTunes, and Google Music. You can even ask Alexa. We're going to get that on there too. You could just walk up to Alexa and be like, hey, Alexa, play Everything Goes, T&K. And boom. And your mom will be like, what's that? But, yeah.
We're getting there.
Close us out, old man.
Crickets. Cling.
This is embarrassing now. Thank you guys for joining this awkward, cringy podcast at the end of the podcast.
No,
here.
seriously, we have a couple people on the hook. Actually, we have one for Wednesday. Hopefully, we can get that set up. He's actually a local guy from Whitehall.
We're trying to get some women's NBA. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we're reaching out, and we want to get some of our friends. Get some of our friends back on.
That was a little bit of a messed up. Yeah, you got a problem with women's NBA? Come on, let's say it. Let's say it.
All right, guys, we're going to end this podcast. We hope you enjoy it. Hit us up, like you said, on Spotify and all those other ones. As a matter of fact, go to all the platforms and at least click on it once. It gives us a little boost in our ratings.
You can always check out our Facebook page at Everything Goes, T&K. We're also on Twitter at Goes Everything. We're constantly uploading the new platforms, so stay tuned, guys. We hope you enjoy this.